Call this meeting to order then. Welcome everybody to the City of Laredo Maxwell Mandel Golf Course Advisory Committee. Notice of meeting and agenda is to be held Thursday, April 14, 2022 at the Laredo International Airport. Item number 1. I've just called this meeting to order. Roll call. Bernal Slight.
Here.
Robert Mancha.
Here.
Ricardo Garza's here. Luis Peregrin. Gary Jacobs. Ricardo Francisco Contreras.
Here.
José Antonio Martinez. Fernando J. Rodriguez.
Here.
And Joaquin Rodriguez. I believe we have a quorum.
That's right.
Does anybody have any questions about the minutes from last month? Or the October 28th meeting? If there are no objections to it, I'm going to sign it and pass them forward. Item up, is there any public comments? No public comments as of today. Item number 4, the items up for discussion with possible action are?
There's no items.
There's no items for discussion.
Mr. Chair.
For action?
Not for action, just all gonna be staff reports.
Today is the staff report, so item number 6, 7. I think we jumped one. It's 4 and then it's gotta be B11, so that's 7.
Oh, yes.
Staff reports, golf course water drainage and irrigation issues.
Right.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
I guess we just, I made just a little report of kind of what's progressed. I don't know if everybody got one. I think everybody did. So far on what I think the last meeting, we didn't have quorum, but we went ahead and submitted something to council for $80,000 for allocation for pump and irrigation issues and stuff that we've been kind of, it's due. We're going on 10 years already with the pump. I think it's been there way before the course was open, so. There's just a couple of pictures here, the crane coming to pull out one of the old pumps. Here's already the new pump. It was about a 10-day turnaround, Dave?
Yeah,
It was really quick. It was really quick on the first one. So they pulled out the second one here. Here, sorry, we don't have color printer at the pro shop, but see where they redid it, repainted it. So then.
How old were the pumps again? They're from the original pumps?
Yeah, they're the original.
Yeah, they're probably 13.
Yeah, because they were there since
And
the growing.
they were in decent shape. The pumps were in the motor was shot. The one motor was shot.
Yeah.
But
So this is a surprising find, clams. I guess because it's bringing in water from the river, the clams just started growing there. So there's a clam bake at the Max for next sundown. But that was surprising. We'll go over some other things we found as we went in there. This is just an update. We're still having some irrigation issues. Dave's on it. He's working on it. The staff's doing really good. When this started happening about a year ago, it was all kind of new to us. We really had only had maybe 2-3 leaks a year, just common leaks that happen. But now, guys, as it's aging, we're getting a little more leaks. But the guys have learned, okay, they talk to the city provides us the coupling. We even have a couple that they're gonna start providing us with a slight inventory, so that at the end of the day, we just, boom, dig, replace, and move on. And we can continue watering. Not like the first couple of times that we got punched in the face and we didn't know what to do at first, how to go about it, what was actually the problems. But we've got that resolved due to, Dave's and his team's efforts.
Was that a burned out motor though on this?
it actually spun.
It doesn't have a strainer or anything before.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So they've already just to give you where we're at now, they already came in, took the first pump out, brought the first one in. We've been working on it. Normally, with 2 pumps going, we can do about 90 heads, 80 to 90 heads maybe. Maybe 75?
Yeah, 60, 75, somewhere in there.
So with a 1 pump,
25.
yeah, we do about 25. So we got a guy coming in at 4 in the morning. He's watering before the golfers. Dave goes out there and spot waters between golfers. And in the evening, I water from 6 to about 9. And then we leave maybe 1 or 2 pumps on for the night. 2 stations on. So we're getting there. But once we get the second pump in, we're really going to be able to. We're even talking about, maybe closing the front 9 in the morning. Let them just water. They can go off the back. Maybe just do back all day. You play it twice. maybe during a Tuesday when our play is low. Then the following Tuesday, do it with the back, or maybe even the following day, do it in the back. That way we can kind of catch up. It doesn't help that it hasn't rained in I don't know how long.
And then also the grass being dormant. We just got in the 70s at night in
Yeah.
the last week or so.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get some action, and I'm hoping to get these
Yeah.
our iffy greens back going again because they turned on them quick.
Yeah, March 6th, we had a wedding that night. We came to kind of clean up the next day and 7 in the morning. We had burners with heaters and propane in there. The propane was like almost frozen. It was just so cold. I guess it hit like 26,
27.
25 that night. So that kind of
So the
put us in
dormancy of the fairways, the roughs, the dormancy,
Yeah.
they look, it's hard to tell if heads are turning. Even if you look at them sometimes, we're just trying to get water out right now.
Mhm.
So once we get the pumps back in, we'll be able to.
And the summer hits, you'll actually be able to drive and be like, oh, that head's broken because it's green around it, but you see the pattern.
Right.
So talking about patterns, we also noticed just with one pump being come in, the pressure was better. Seems that the old patterns from 3 years, 4 years ago, when the pump was probably working at the maximum occupancy or whatever rate, the last couple of years, it was kind of starting to miss a little bit because the pressure was less and less. Could have been the buildup of the clams because it was right in an area. So talking about that, you mentioned about the screens and all that. So when they went in there, they gave us some good news on the pump that we might not have to use all the money we had allocated for it. But then they said, well, we found these clamps, we should go in there, kind of drudge a little bit, clear everything out, check the screen, make sure that the screen's still good. Within the money we have allocated, due to the savings that we've had on the pump so far, we'll be able to replace the screen and kind of still be within budget. And we're gonna get them to come in with divers, which they already have, dredge it, clean up, find all your balls that you put on
That's what I'm
17.
saying.
Yeah, that's a real good deal. Well, because we had this budget number, and it's a real good deal that we're gonna get to dredge this lake around that deal. It's
Yeah.
a huge deal,
So-
because we're getting 10 to 15 heads stopped up every night, because it's sucking the mud.
Yeah.
And so and I talked to the guy, they're gonna do everything on Tuesday. The diving, the sucking, and the,
Ooh.
Coach. Did you have anything to say? Diving, and
Read a text.
dredging, and that stuff, and then they're gonna drop the crane in. I got it scheduled for 12:30. They'll drop the new pumps in. The jockey pump's already in.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, now that they're there, they're gonna be doing that. There's no way that they can lift up that other area where it's uneven with the lake? Where the water puddles over here at the fairway?
No, I'll ask him, because that drain sticking up, I'm hoping that drain still works. We'll push it back down.
Okay, yeah, that's what,
And-
now that he's there, you might be able to push that thing down.
And then also I need to raise those drains, so when we raise them, you won't see that no more,
Yeah,
because they've sunk.
yeah.
Yeah, when the pond's full,
Yeah.
the water comes down.
And some of them are that deep, so what I gotta just put an extension on them, raise them up, sand. That should take care of the immediate problem.
What's it, so does that have anything to do with that, there was another line right off the cart path, right in that same end line with that drain, that you have roped off?
Yeah, it all comes, even it comes up by the green too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So all that's supposed to flow into the lake when it rains,
Oh,
and then
okay.
flow out of the lake to back to the river.
No, I'm thinking, cause if they have the equipment to do that, or whatever you need to do after that, you can use hopefully some of that budget money to fix all that area and allow it to work properly.
Yep.
So we're hoping come Tuesday afternoon, we're full speed. Now we can water all night, 6 maybe stations at a time. You know, that about back to 70 heads. But I think that one day of closing the front and switching it over and going to the back, you have to play the 9 holes twice, but it's just gonna help us catch up to those kind of.
Well, like you said, it's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday would be.
And we were thinking maybe even go cart path only, because we're gonna flood it.
Yeah, we're talking about really give it a good,
Just catch up, and then, last about a week, and then we'll catch up and, go on like
Will you all announce that on your website?
Yeah,
On
yeah,
the- on
we'll
your-
even
on
give a
your-
discount or something. So then that leads us back to, we had talked about doing some deep timing on the aeration. Well, between this time and last time we spoke, David attended the superintendent, the South Texas superintendent meeting or whatever. And we've heard about this product, we just never had used it ourselves. They had used it up north with some of our sister courses, and it worked really well with bent grass green. They come out of the winter, April, May, so if they were to deep time in April and May, then they would be, hurting their revenues through July almost.
Right.
So at that same time, there's a new product that you pour it in there, and it actually goes down, it kind of does what the aeration does without the holes. goes in there and it helps
It's an
oxygenate.
organic acid flux, which I was doing previous.
Without the hose?
Mm-hmm.
Without aerating?
Yeah. So what we'll do is I'll just keep spiking them like I've been.
Little ones.
Little ones. Let's get through this year, and then we'll take a look at what we need to do next year.
Yeah, because they started doing it in South Texas. They've had a lot of good success with it. And then we thought, okay, here we go. We're gonna go into April, start digging those deep holes. They're gonna last through June. It's honestly the way it's been growing, and it just kind of hurts that's almost our best.
The way the
time of
greens are
year.
growing, like if you change a cup, sometimes it's taking a while for them. They'll even die sometimes. So it's
Yeah.
just all salt.
Yeah.
And then we got some mole crickets on
Yeah.
18 and 12 that I got.
So
some-
you're eliminating the whole process by doing this? you know,
Yeah,
because
it's
you're-
chemically.
It's not gonna hurt us any.
Yeah.
I really wanted to get those, but once we looked at this chemical and stuff, and these guys I've known forever,
Mhm.
and they said, just do it. One guy said use this product, but I've actually used innovative turf products before, so
Yeah.
we're only on the third week of spraying it, so.
And one thing that we did kind of, I guess you did, had pieced together and you asked around and they said it could have an issue with it. That there was so much dirt coming in through all that when we were watering the greens, we were adding a sediment of dirt on top of it, creating that kind of effect where the water wouldn't get down. So it might have been that we were hurting ourselves twice with the salt and then obviously the top of the little dirt kind of, if day after day, 30 minutes a day, it adds up. So hopefully we'll eliminate all that and move forward, and then we'll revisit the idea of actually going deep tanning maybe in October, November. But you see, that's kind of our best time of the year.
No, it would be, we would do it, April of next year.
Oh, wait a whole year. Okay, yeah, because again, most up north, October, November, they're shutting down already because of snow and all that.
Right.
That's our time of year. This December was beautiful. I think
It's
we
like
hit
that-
100,000.
Dennis was saying, if we did aerify now the way these greens with the salt, we gotta get it out of there. And that was one way to get it out of there. We're scared of it's gonna take too long to heal. We need to get these greens healthy and then aerify next year, and then we can heal them up quick. Does that make sense?
Because originally you had talked about aerifying them,
Deep time.
deep tanning, I'm sorry. The one you said we're gonna go down 10 inch, right?
Yeah, it would've been today, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's been 15th to 16th. Yeah.
So that's not gonna happen, that,
We're gonna do it with chemicals.
with chemicals?
With chemicals. And the reason being is that we didn't want to do that, and then let's say, God forbid, something happens, the pump guy's like, it's gonna be another 3 weeks, we found something out of the ordinary with your pump. We're just gonna be struggling.
Just
So
fight it.
get the pumps in, get that fixed, then hopefully when we know that the chemical works, so chemicals kind of get us through next year, and then next year revisit the idea of going with 48-inch deep tanks.
And Coach, really the main thing is the healing time.
Is what?
The heating time. So if these chemicals can
No, no
suffice,
huesos de
you might not even
dinosaurio.
aerify.
Okay.
Um,
Now, the cost for this chemicals is still within the
Oh,
money that we appropriated?
Yeah, a little bit. I think with the
What
money we
helps is
have and.
the offset of the sand. Sand's so expensive right now. You don't
Mhm.
have to dig the hole and pour sand.
Mm.
And sand's not expensive, but we get it out of Dallas, so
We got, it was $2,000 for a load of sand.
we got one to do what we did earlier.
Okay.
So David has a great idea. He wants to do black sand. He thinks he can find it locally,
And outside of Uvalde.
closer, cheaper. It's black sand, right? It's gonna look a little different, but then we would be that one. Hey, did you play that course with the black sand? It's it's not in a year, 2 years, 3 years from now.
I mean, if we can save $1,000 a
Oh,
load.
why not try it, man?
The only problem is that now we have, 85 bunkers that we would have to fill with black sand. So it's a long-term process, but he's thinking out of the box,
Yeah.
And it's always about unique experience. Like, hey, did you play that course with the black sand, the bunkers? Isn't that crazy?
Black sand has the same density as the hot
It's a little thicker.
Yeah.
A little thicker?
I got a sample at the golf course.
Yeah.
I should have brought it. I didn't think about it.
Mm.
Do you have to go through the course designer to get
Yes.
approval for that?
Might have to,
You
but I
cannot
mean,
do that. I've been trying to get a hold of him about 11
yeah,
bunkers.
we've called, what was the name? Mr. Jacob Bruce. We have about 3 or 4 emails and calls.
So I asked Mr. Jacobs if he could actually call him. Maybe he had a little more
Yeah.
power, I guess. I don't know.
So.
I tried to, and I couldn't get through.
Yeah. So in the front of this is just a breakdown of kind of, we had 120K available, approximately about 116 at the time.
Yeah, so,
But every month we put in 1,200, 1,500, just depending on how many rounds we have. So we're gonna take 80. Out of those 80, we're kind of breaking it down to pump is 50, crane is gonna be 5, And we have those we turned in already, all that paperwork, I guess last month we weren't here, but that's what we turned into the city. Irrigation repair, this is kind of just catching us up with all the repairs that we had throughout the year. The aeration.
Unexpected.
Yeah, aeration, where we've kind of moved away from that. We're still doing aerating, but with chemicals instead of,
And our units are.
yeah,
our
what we
own units.
normally do, which is more of what, a 2.5 inch?
4.5.
And those 8Ks, they're gonna cover all the screens?
Yes, the chemicals, yes. Right, it's about 8,000?
Yeah, plus with our normal budget.
Yeah, was whatever we had already allocated for it.
Okay.
And then an extra sand, 5,000. That's kind of what we're guesstimating. We'll get solid numbers on the pump here probably by Tuesday or Wednesday,
I would assume so.
once they finish dredging and everything.
So on the high end on the pump, there's 50,000.
Mhm.
Might be lower than that.
Well, we know it's gonna be a little lower, but then now that they've gone in there, they're saying the screen, the dredging, the clams were kind of something unexpected. Yeah, it's like a remodel of a home. You open it, it might be something. But I think we will be under those 50K.
They're putting a stand to open up the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
But just the stuck heads alone is just, hopefully is gonna be just a,
Yeah.
that's a mother.
Yeah. So
And a waste of water.
It's been 12 years with those pumps, or how long?
the course
Right
is
there,
9
too.
years, and then they probably had to grow in 2-3 years. You knew you've been out there for a while. Yeah.
The guy who's dredging the lake, he also said that he's been doing it for years, and he said he's never gone back to redredge. So I'm assuming this will last 5, 6, 7 years, 8 years,
Mhm.
and then we need to program it to redredge again. And then we're gonna put the pumps on a maintenance schedule every 6 months
Yeah.
for the first 2 years. For the first year, and then 2 months after that, 6 months after that.
You have to be careful when you dredge, because I think they put like clay down,
They're gonna,
didn't they put clay or
They come in.
bentonite?
Something.
they come down with that big sucker and just suck it all out.
Oh,
And they'll
okay.
throw it on the bank, and then we'll spread it.
It's not like a big.
They died.
So is the course is gonna be closed next week, the back,
No,
the back?
no, we want to make sure that the pump's in before we make a decision on what days. So once it's in,
I'm thinking about I think before you got here, they were talking about that meeting where they were gonna try and open it up to the lake that we already have.
Yeah.
And then another pond right next to it.
Yeah, 17 and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was,
Process.
that was when the lots were gonna be there, because the
Yeah,
idea
yeah.
of going over the houses and so
Right.
forth, and maybe extending it.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what we can do to offset that. I don't know, they can.
Get ready, some pre-work.
Yeah, put some pre-wiring and, we're gonna put a 10-inch line in there, crossing that bordo that's there and just a valve to open it up when they're.
What's a Bordeaux?
Because that's the only thing, okay, so the city came out and we got the water. It's hooked into our main with a double check, just like.
Oh, yeah, this is
irrigation.
another good thing we found out. through this.
So we can water about 6 heads at a time, 7 heads with city water without our pumps being on.
So-
Which is an incredible thing, whether it be for flushing, whether it be, they call us to get chlorine down the line because they can't get enough chlorine all the way down. There's not enough toilets being flushed evidently,
Yeah.
down by Columbia.
Yeah,
So it works for both sides on that deal.
Yeah, we had been kind of looking for there was a tertiary backup, which we finally found it and made it work, which was very good, because let's say the pumps go down one day for an extended amount of time, well, we can at least do 6 heads at a time, meaning that we can at least hit our greens and keep them going in our tee boxes in a state of emergency.
And then, only thing we haven't gotten done is digging that other pipe out for the backup river pump. Which all we gotta do is, I know the city's been busy with all the leaks and stuff, so we just kinda let it go by the wayside for right now, but we have not done that yet. And I talked to Gary, I guess a month ago, and I said, look, I'm gonna spray these fence lines, the hog fences. It hadn't been done in years, we started, and it's just a bother. So I said, look, if it hadn't been done in 5 years, let me start going in there and spraying this brush out, killing it, and then go in there and clean it, in a year.
Did you all see the piglet on Friday?
Yeah, I saw it on
You saw
Saturday.
it. Oh, you saw it Saturday then?
I saw it Saturday, little black one.
Yeah, I think he's lost. I don't think the moms are in there.
It wasn't hole number 8.
Yeah, it was on 4 on Friday.
Yeah.
I tried to catch it, but that thing was
It was
quick.
right behind you. Yeah, right. As soon as you guys were walking to the green, it went right behind you.
Yeah.
The piglet came out, and then a minute later, some big old armadillo came out of that thing.
Oh, well, I think I think the Armadillo got hit by a gator
And then we
accident.
got the 2 fairway units in.
Okay.
And they're
Oh,
working on the
yeah.
rest of it. They're working on some more machinery.
Yeah.
Pat was over here on the green, and started, I thought it was a little bear, man.
A little bear?
It was black. I said, oh shit, man, everybody was like, where's the mother?
And then we're teeing off at number 5.
They get in through the river, right?
Well, the little ones can because they're tiny. The big ones can't. We do have about 2 or 3 javelinas.
6.
6 javelinas in the course. The maintenance told me that, and this is the guys told me that the javelinas are smart enough to walk through the cattle guard through the middle. That they've seen them
okay.
just follow each other. Just
What are the announcements?
see. So, but if I'm not mistaken, javelinas aren't really like as bad as what you would
No,
get out of
no,
a
no,
house.
they're not.
So it's actually a nice little touch. Yesterday we were playing on one, and he was in the bunker just chilling.
Dennis tried to hit him.
Wow, 125-yard shot, and I almost did.
Can't hit him.
He bladed it right at it.
Yeah.
Hey, that Saturday morning, we're teeing off at number 5.
Mhm.
Right, we're about to drive up to the tee box. Big old 7-footer.
Ooh, they're
But
starting to
it
come out.
wasn't a rounder.
It's the indigos.
What are they?
The indigo, the blue one, the black, blue.
Black.
No. It was a
Oh,
light
like-
brown. It looked like a
Ah,
rounder.
well, it's the bull snake. But
Bull
that-
snake?
Yeah, those eat the rattlesnake. They're-
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Walk,
You
going
got a new
straight
belt?
towards your ranch.
Why do you have
No, I
new
got new
belts?
boots.
I
Belt,
need
new
boots.
wallet.
Straight towards your ranch.
Yeah,
Right, we're about to
yeah.
tee off the big old
Romancing the
7-footer.
stone. Le taca la vuelta.
Oh, but yeah, I saw that piglet too.
Yeah.
They have the
Este,
same color as the
So we're
rattlesnake.
having a pork belly sandwiches
And clams.
and clams. Happy Easter.
Chicharrón and clam.
Híjole.
but
Drudge clams.
on I'm sorry, Mr.
Yeah,
Chair,
so,
we can
so
go on to
just
number
to, just to
2.
recap on that, so the pump itself, we have a new one. And are we saying that, this new one is getting installed as we speak?
There's 2.
Two?
Yeah.
Two, okay.
So one's got already pulled out and replaced, which was the one that was officially down.
So the long thing is the pump and then the motors.
The motor's over here on the side, yeah.
The pumps were in decent shape. They had some mud in them.
Oh, okay.
So
So
they
they-
cleaned it all out, redid them, and then the motor was shot. That's the
Oh.
one that went out.
Right.
And so that's a new motor. So we'll start keeping the paperwork.
What's the horsepower on that motor?
75.
75?
I believe it's 75.
And we'll have 2.
Yeah.
So once those things, the watering should be back to normal, pretty much.
And what we noticed is that 5 years ago, the pattern was a little further. The pressure was better.
Mm-hmm.
So we started noticing on 11, especially if you go to the left.
Mhm.
I know most people don't follow the cart path,
Mhm.
but if you follow it, you could see where there was spaces, and you'd be like, and you look at the sprinkler, and yeah, the wind was blowing right. It could get there, but recently we were out there the other day when it was blowing like 18, I think it was 18 or 22, and you could see the sprinkler just fighting the wind the whole way, and you see where the empty
Dry
grass
spot.
spots are. So hopefully these new, it's new pumps and everything, kind of get us back to day one.
But yeah, it's been heck with the wind and the.
Yeah, wind is just as bad as no rain.
Well, hopefully the lines can hold the pressure now.
11.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, no, and yeah, that wind. That's one thing I talked to Dave. I go, wind is just as bad as no rain because it actually dries out the greens even more.
Yeah.
So you could water them and it's just gonna blow all that evaporation out of the way. So we've been battling winds all month already.
Oh, yeah.
This is the time of year for it.
Yeah.
Flying kites.
And then I had one other thing, the line under the bridge, that we repaired.
That's a picture in there.
There's some concrete blocks up by the dumpster in the parking lot. I'd like to take those and stack them right in the middle, and then take all that stuff out and run the pipe straight, anchor it to those concrete deals. I don't know when we're gonna have time to do that. It might be next winter.
Yeah.
But that'll get rid of all those fittings there. And then we had one bust last night right up the way.
It's
But-
kind of our weak link through the whole sprinkler system. Is
Yeah,
that?
And we got the pipe there. I mean, we'll have 2 fittings instead of 6.
So just to play devil's advocate, a flood comes, it'll hold.
Don't know.
But I mean, at the worst
It's
case
gonna be
scenario,
weird.
it would be a big piece of pipe that would get taken out. We could easily replace it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, because we have
That's
those.
that's only like the size of debris that's gonna hit it.
Yeah.
It's rushing through there. That's why I was asking that last
But
time.
those cement things, they're probably weigh what, 3,000?
Do we have any engineers here?
Those things, yeah.
There's the retaining walls that we
Yeah,
have.
retaining walls,
Yeah.
I stack them up to make that level and then shim it, and then I'll go around and brace it with, the brace. I don't think it'll go
Yeah,
anywhere.
Texas Water Department's gonna what conservation.
That's where we're gonna dump our motor oil.
All right.
Good.
think we're on item number 2 now, without the,
Yeah,
of course.
so we have a game plan, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on item number 2, as Dennis said, right now there was about $120,000 in the capital improvement outlay. Is that what it's called? Funding. As you know, for every round of golf, they put $1 into that account. It can only be used for upgrading or helping the course or anything that has to do it. So in meeting with Dennis and David, they kind of give us an estimate, más o menos, of what. So I took to council. It should be. It has to go through public hearing, then it has to go through final readings. The final reading will be on Tuesday. To pull 80,000 out of those 120. To what he just mentioned right now about the pumps and all that. You know, I've always believed the most important part of any field, baseball, golf, is the course itself. So when money needs to be spent on that, you know, we definitely have to spend money on making sure we upgrade all that stuff and keep it up to par.
Well, it just goes to show that you know, that self-sufficiency, that we don't have to go to the city for that money.
Right.
It's already been doing that, so we can continue to accumulate it, and it's a good feather in our cap that we're taking care of the problem internally.
Rather
than
yeah, that was brought up at the council. That was brought up at council.
Yeah.
And normally, I think I saw it's about $1,100 or $1,200. You all put it
Yeah,
about every month.
Yeah, it just depends on how many rounds we have. Some, like December, we had like almost 1,500, so we put in $1,500. So it averages out about $16,000 a year.
16,000.
16 to 17, depending.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's so after those 80,000, we'll have 40,000 in there. I told Dennis, I think 40,000 is like a zero balance for us, and let's kind of keep that for emergencies, whatever we need to, and let's not deviate from there.
Yeah,
Stay around that area.
I think that we need to make it as part of something that we need to take action on. I wanna make sure that for however many years we're here, or wherever it replaces us as we go along, that it's gotta be in writing that it cannot dip below this. This is gonna be a reserve.
Okay.
And it cannot
Well,
go
we
that
could-
way,
we could-
because if not, you know, it's easily, you can do that, but there's gonna be some things that you might have to go
Right.
and wanna go to the city for.
Right.
So long as this thing keeps on
Right.
growing, we can't dip it below, because that's our credibility on the line right there.
So let's maybe put an action item next meeting, so we can come up with a sum and say, you know what, it cannot get below 35,000 or 30,000, and y'all can decide that. That way we always keep that money in the ante for.
Well, because you make projections after that. If he's saying that we're getting $16,000 a year off of that, and there's something down the line that's gonna happen, it'll keep us thinking about what we're gonna use it 3 or 4 years down the line. You know, we're gonna use these monies for that way we can allocate them there, but it cannot go to zero. Because it'll put us in a worse situation. So, and we can, it'll be an action item for us to say,
Yeah,
okay.
so let's put that, Chris, we put that for next week.
Because once you approve this 80,000 and say, hey, then you go to the city and pull that thing, and pull the money out. But there'll be a paper trail already that says it already came through us, and the committee saw it and approved it, and then all you have to do is take it for action for the city.
Right.
But at the same time, the downtown, they're gonna be noticing, these guys are being self-sufficient. They're taking care of everything, and it's not pulling out from our coffers.
Right, and that was like I said, that was mentioned in the city council meeting, that was always running in the red, so we got to throw money in and throw money in. It was a white elephant, where they say that, you know, but I think now they're doing a good job as far as, you know, being self-sustainable, and that makes it look
Well, I
good.
raised it to $2.
Well, that's something we can, that's something you guys.
I would think that might be the case.
I mean, Coke's $1 more than it used to be.
Well, I mean, if you really look at what we've been doing, I mean, Dennis you've been holding it, he's been holding the line at you know, $30 or 26 or 24, whatever you have, and then you have those special days that are in there. I think that's appropriate. I think we're getting more people satisfied at that price than we were at the high end at all times. So, and, you know, obviously, the higher you're gonna go, the better, or the faster you're gonna get to that 100,000 again. But I think, maybe $2 would be the appropriate amount.
That'd be another action, and we would put that.
It's an ordinance, so I think we just need.
Once you pass it, then I will take it to amend the ordinance to add $2 or whatever y'all decide and I can tell, hey, it was approved by the golf.
You know, because if you really look at it, I mean, the way I did it, let's say for LISD, I put a 5 and a 10 year master plan as to what it's gonna look like. after that. And then just give me the worst case scenario.
I'll do that.
About expenses that you think is gonna happen. And then you can go every year and just revisit it. And then if you say over the next 5, 10 years, we're gonna be spending out of those 100, we should be collecting this much in that and putting it in this fund, and this is how much we're gonna be using. And that way there's a game plan in there. Plus, you're gonna have your little cushion in case some unforeseen's happen.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that and get the list of what we need on the golf course, maybe even the clubhouse. The golf
Because
course.
the clubhouse, I don't know who's, and I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know whose idea it's gonna have to be, but I noticed that, we're gonna continue to have that problem with the sewer. And
That's why if we walked in, we thought we were talking about that.
yeah, we might have to dig that thing out and resell it. I don't think it has enough pitch, and that's why all the smell is backing up over here.
It's either that, I'm thinking.
He has an idea.
that when the wind direction's in the right way, it's not letting the gases come out. And it doesn't take much to make it smell that bad, trust me.
You know, because the number one place you're gonna smell it at is gonna be at your AC unit, because it's dumping water into the drain, and that thing has a trap, and the AC unit has a trap. When the AC unit's trap dries out, and this thing dries out also, it's just gonna go right through it. So one of those two has to maintain water at all times. So you won't
I
see
didn't
it.
think about the AC.
Yeah, well, that's where we fill up everything. We got about 12 where we go and start pouring water down the drains, hopefully get it filled up. And you notice it where you can come in 1 hour before, it doesn't smell, and then it smells again, then it goes away again. But we are probably doing it 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, that's telling me that's something underneath. I mean, to me, it's telling me that the trap that's underneath that building is not.
So I was talking to Lucio, who's kind of coach's guy that takes care of all that. We did notice, because maybe 6 years ago, the entrance to the door from the kitchen to the walk-in, they had to cut open the pipe because they took in the smog test. They found some leaks there. They cut open the wall, they fixed it, they repatched it. But now that wall frame, it's probably got about 3-inch gap, so it's moved, it's shifted somewhere. So I don't know if that maybe either affected that same pipe that they worked on 6 years ago, because it's kind of.
I don't know if the city might have, the plumbing department might have a camera. We might have to.
Yeah, we
put a
can,
camera.
we can get utilities to come in or public works to come in with a camera.
And find out if it's a crack. I think with the building moving or whatever, there might be a crack in there because you're gonna be adding water all the time and it's just leaking out through there.
Yeah, but that problem's been there for the longest time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The longest time,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So that's why I don't want them to spend any more time filling it up and guessing at that deal. And solving it temporarily because it's a pain in the butt, you know, and then we might lose people from going over there to go eat or whatever.
Yeah.
So. I
Luckily
think
right
just-
now-
Just running the camera through.
Yeah,
there.
bring in the cameras.
Yeah,
just
luckily,
bring-
right now the weather's still decent where people just eat outside. The
Yeah.
same crowd, but you know it's getting to the point where you can not even want to eat outside.
No. Once they're heating up, man, everybody's gonna.
So would the camera be better or doing that smog thing or?
I think the camera, because the smog, when we did it, they found that, and then it solved the problem. But then we went and had to do upstairs in the men's bathroom. They brought in, they call it the vejiga, right? They put it in the balloon, and then they capped it, and that for a long time solved it. Then it was more of a when it got super hot, or we didn't use a restroom upstairs for a long time. So now we let staff use the restroom upstairs. We tell them, no, go use the one upstairs. That way they can continually keep flushing it. Because if not, let's say we don't have an event in a week or a week and a half.
Yeah.
Well, it's 100 degrees up there, and it's just, get dry.
Okay, well then do this. Send me an email, and put as per our conversation in the golf max meeting. This is what we recommend,
David, write
and then
this
I will send it to utilities so that we can get schedule that camera up.
Yeah.
We get it up
Yeah. let's do it.
and get down to the solution, not just.
Yeah,
put it
just
back
keep
in.
handing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's nothing.
Because, man, no, God forbid, man, you're having, and I don't know
wedding.
what's happened already, a wedding or whatever. And those people.
It's probably like what, 1 o'clock in the afternoon to about 7 o'clock in the afternoon, but that's when it's the hottest.
Right.
You know, and it's at night. Somebody flushes a restroom somewhere and it kind of holds for a while.
Mhm.
So that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll get with Dennis and put that long plan together,
The
what this
5 to
money
10.
can be utilized for, heads in the future.
Because when JJ goes for budget, some of those things that you have on that plan are it'd be a good idea if it's gonna go
Yeah.
through Parks and Rec, that you can put a line item in there for the golf course, that they can understand downtown, that this is going directly for that. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna tap into those monies, but, we can have a running balance as to, and a game plan behind it, and what the monies are gonna be used for.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, it'll make them a lot more stress-free downtown about Parks and Rec and especially the course over there. There's a doubt, that was the whole thing why this thing needed to get started, because they were casting doubts downtown about the viability and whether it was worth to keep the golf course. And when we started this thing, now we're showing that there's accountability behind it, there's credibility behind what we're doing, and that'll give you more support.
Yeah,
when-
and that helps tremendously. We can say
when
exactly.
budget time comes around,
Yeah.
it helps you.
Yeah, because before that, it was swinging with one arm and trying to get anything done for the course, so. Now we have a committee, and you all talk to your council members as well that you all represent, and, get in their ears a little bit, hey, this, it's doing good, and let's maintain it, and, let's put some money into it, it's.
Well, the city ought to be very proud. I mean, I told Steve this morning, in my opinion, it's probably top 150 golf courses municipal in the nation.
And people that don't play golf don't know that. They think it's just, it's a little piece of land that the city has over there.
This city ought to be very, very proud of that.
So we weren't here for the meeting. I don't know, maybe we just got awarded number 7 in the state of Texas for municipal golf courses. And we were playing with the big boys, the Dallas Cowboys golf course in Dallas.
That's at the one pump.
Yeah, Wolf Dancer in Houston. I mean, these are big names in big cities. And for us to be able to come in at number 7 is just, we got number 1 within 100 miles, but we all knew that already. But the number 7 in the state of Texas, and when you have the list, I'll print it out and I'll put it next time on the report. You're like, oh, those are heavy hitters, you got Jerry Jones over there probably throwing it.
Let's publicize it, right? Let's
Well, we
get
put it on our
let's-
social media.
No,
and
let's get our PIO people too,
So
and.
you're saying that even the Max Golf Course can beat the Cowboys?
Wow. Anybody. Hey, I mean, hey, I love the Cowboys. Come on.
So do I, man, but these Cowboys sing it. Don't worry.
Let's not start crying in April. Come on, give us a chance.
Anything, Chair, go ahead and go to the next one, items for the next meeting that we talked about 2, right?
Yes.
Chris, what are they again?
It's can I get you 35,000 after
Well,
putting the 80,000?
let them come up with a number, they will come
Okay.
up with a number, what will be the,
We'll get- we'll get-
Reserve
yeah,
amount.
Reserve.
Still
It's
put
gonna be
it
a
on there
first
so we
goal
can
for
zero
propose it,
balance,
and then we can come to the number at that next meeting.
Okay.
And then also the $2 increase on the.
Yeah, I mean, that's $32,000 a year now.
No, that gets you stuff done. Wait a couple of years and you're really getting stuff done because, bridge repair, just internal computer system, all new software for the computer.
Snakeskin seat for your gator.
Snakeskin boots, you saw it? So,
Okay.
there's a bunch of stuff really, but new heads in the future. Probably, you got another 7, 8 years in these, start replacing them. You still have to repair, but they're gonna start wearing out. And I know you replace as you go, but there's gonna be a time, there might be a new head out that's better, you never know.
So, yeah, comes
That's
under
6, 7,
that
8
capital
years.
improvement plan that.
those stainless steel heads, I know they're a little bit pricey, but,
Ooh, yeah.
yeah, right? We changed them, before
We can hire people with.
when I was overseeing unit trade, we were having issues, so we ended up changing, of course, it's not as big as a golf course, right, but we just changed it to stainless steel head, no, bitch,
Never any.
No problems.
no, we should have done that a long time ago, but things were great.
What's the cost on a stainless steel
Oh
head?
my
of course?
gosh, I wouldn't even guess.
And that was about 4 years ago when we changed that, so it cost us about 35,000.
Oh, just for the golf,
Just to
Is each
for the
head-
outfield?
each
It's
head right now is like
for the whole field,
30
for the whole field.
Sheesh.
There's 2,000 something
What's that?
heads, and they're about $230 for just a full head.
So it's $5.
So what we've done
ordinance?
is, we talked to, what?
$5 for the upgrade on the ordinance?
Yeah, what we've done is the kids now, they were just buying.
Yeah, they've
They
learned
didn't
how.
know, they were buying parts, the whole shells, and now we're taking them out and cleaning them. And once we get the pump stuff done, I don't think we're gonna have that much
That
problems.
big of issue. Yeah.
So are you, as part of the water that you're going, you're still doing the chemical additives to the water so that maybe that much sediment can sit on those heads or anything like that?
Not right now, no.
No, but it exists, right? We can do that so that maintenance. that
Not
you're doing-
mud.
Huh?
Not mud.
Oh, won't clean mud, that's right. That sets in.
And there's really not an algae problem in the head, in the lines or anything, there's not.
No.
I mean, we're hoping that this new pump resolves some of the little issues that we've had. Maybe that sediment makes a lot of sense, right? That's creating that little sediment kind of a layer on top of the grass because it's being sprayed every night. So we'll see.
So right now that the heat is coming up, and it really did this week, the Powana issue,
It's going away. I would spray it. I have the chemical in to spray it out.
Uh-huh.
But I'm scared to spray the greens right now. I'm not scared. I'm just not gonna do it. They're weak.
yeah.
Yeah. Once we get the pumps,
You top dressed all over the greens, huh?
Yeah, and I'll do it again next week.
Oh, you will?
Mm-hmm. That's some good sand. That's kiln sand.
And then you start seeing the effect of the greens could take its course around about a month after that? How long does it take to?
Less than that. You can already see if yesterday.
they're starting to grow. So like you can see the little areas where I don't want you to do it, but he gets there and he just like that, and you can see little grass already coming in. He can it's the scratch test. He does that too, and it's like, oh, it's moist, it's good.
I'm really bad. I'll ask everybody, you see the green getting better? You see it getting better? I mean, every hour, you know.
And it's really 1, 10, and 18, and 18's making a
18's
big
almost
comeback.
back.
12
Yeah.
is, I mean, one day it'll look like it's
Yeah.
coming at 100, and the next day you look at it like, man, just from overnight.
It's where the sun hits the new grass.
Yeah. So,
Well, good.
And then one other thing I had is number 11 bunker. We can't get a hold of the guy.
yeah.
And the way the bunker is, I was telling Dennis, I think they should have put the cart path on the other side of the hole. Because it really
Yeah,
blocks
right,
you
that's
out
right.
because you can either drive in the back of it or cut across the tees. So that's another stamp that we need to put on this thing to either downsize, make it smaller. Or
half and half.
yeah, something.
It's gotta have half grass and half.
I like the
sand.
grass idea, like the
I like-
moguls on
I like
18.
that.
That's nice. On 18, you know, the moguls we have?
Yeah.
Kind of adapted somewhere like that, because, I mean, a lot of people talk about that. Hey, the little hills on 18 are awesome.
Because we
It's
were,
on 7 too.
you know, there's drainage
Yeah.
still there.
I like to ride.
I don't know that area as well.
If we get to the drainage, it'll be just like, any other, you just put the metal drain cap there and it'll all drain.
Yeah, that'll work.
This is just me. I'm known. And I get mad at AJ and Daniel when they do that. Is there a way? Because let's say you have the blacks, then you have the golds, the blues, right, and then you have the reds, right, and then the majority, I would say 75% of the people hit from the blues. So they'll hit and then they'll drive the cart between the blues and the reds to get to the fairways. Clear the goddamn thing. Is there a way that we can block everything, Dave? Like, don't put something that they cannot get on the fairway until they get
think
past all the
GPS
two.
We can do it with
You
the
can get them
GPS.
on the system.
Yeah, we
with
can get
the
them on the GPS.
Cut them off on the
Yeah.
GPS and
Yeah,
that's it.
This was another thing we had talked about, and I've forgotten, but we can put it on this. Everybody comes and I got surgery 6 months ago, and we got 20, 22-year-old kids there that they say no to the guy. Guys like, they lose their temper. So we want.
So we want to bring.
So we wanted to put a sign there that it's not us, it's the city of Laredo asking that you must present your placard.
Your placard.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's, because you get the guys like, hey, I had this, I was sick, I had the flu, And it's like,
Mental issues.
but, it's tough on the staff, right? You got a 22, 23-year-old guy there that's trying to be respectful, but how do you tell a 45-year-old guy or a 50-year-old guy, like, show me your placard, you know what I mean? So if we could put something there, that way we don't have to be the one saying no, because when we say no, they get offended and.
Put a sign in the city of
You know
Laredo or
what,
something.
you know what, and the people so you would say that 80% of the people are return guests there?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
right?
easily.
So those people need to register,
Yeah.
I would say, and I think there's a couple of them that, have those placards but still play, they don't need the handicap card, they don't ask for it.
Yeah.
But at least that they register,
Mhm.
and then you have it, and then those kids will have to be asking.
Yeah.
There's gonna be, maybe make a little card or something
Yeah.
that they can show it at the time.
Yeah.
That says.
Well, when you get your permit for the handicap,
Mhm.
it should be something like that, no?
Right.
They have to fill out
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
to bring something from the doctor.
Yeah, well, and
And once you're registered,
Yeah.
but it has to have an ending time, because
Yeah.
if it's not you just came out from surgery, it has to have
Yeah, there's a
an
date,
ending
yeah.
period.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
have a 6-month pass for that,
Yeah.
or 4 months, or 2 months, or whatever it is. That's what I'm saying, if you give them, you're gonna have a little card that you're able to show, you all, that's the Max Golf Course handicap registered.
we can put that
registered
on the
placard
line,
on that,
that
and then
way-
the one is a temporary
Or
one.
just to bring it up. next
Yeah,
time,
every 6
and
months they
also-
have to
I think we
renew
do
it
it
or.
to-
Yeah.
Well, we took it one step
Can we
further
do
and
it?
said,
Just
if
put
you
City
have
of
that,
Laredo.
if you have it, you have to ride by
But,
yourself.
yeah, it's
Because
just like
I'm
park.
gonna jump in.
park-
You-
Well,
parking.
just put it as an action
Yeah,
item.
yeah, action item, just so we can
Yeah,
get
if
it
you're
on.
driving twice.
That way we can have backup that the
Yeah.
committee will
Yeah.
do to that.
But now when you
Chris.
renew your license, you have to take it. Not here with Patricia Barrera, that's in an ordinance. Now you have to doctor excuse, you have to send a letter and all that with the doctor. If not, you don't get the handicap.
Yeah.
Exactly.
change
One guy was
everything
parked
this
on the
year.
green, he forgot his club on 7, he ran across the green, and he was parked on the
On number 11, everybody goes.
Okay, ran back.
Yeah, I can't
Hey, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then,
Number 11,
shoot, they
is
cut
it?
through
I-
8
I
and
understand
they wear
that,
it down.
But I still think that they
But
should
they
go
don't go
within 10 feet
number
of the
11.
green.
See?
Why is
Even if you
that?
have that.
Yeah,
They cut in front of the
We
sign
can't go
tractors,
40
so they
feet
put it on
there.
there.
But I
Pero
don't
con
think
lo
that you should clear them out. I think the cart should stop
That-
10, even for them 10
Yeah,
feet
we
away.
just need to clear that with ADA because that's something that we can get into a
Well,
lot.
no, I know, so I don't think the ADA rules only, the ADA rules apply to quality of life, I think it is, which is bathrooms and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we had one time a lady during a tournament because it was the TAMIU tournament and we didn't have any more carts because one, they had 120 golfers and they let the kids drive because it was a college tournament. And we didn't have any carts and the lady's like, I got ADA, I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna have a lawsuit. So we gave her the 8-seater, you know, and she was happy. But, you know, it got us thinking like, hey man, we don't want any issues with ADA.
Yeah, you can.
So that's why we've kind of, okay, we're gonna respect the fact that you brought us a handicap or tell us your handicap. Now we're gonna have a registration now, but we kind of need the power of you guys because you know it's 80%, 90% return, and you get them, they're getting
No,
that for about a month, and they don't
I
come.
think for the most part, the human nature is that you're identifying them, and then they're gonna like that you identify
Yeah.
them, those people, and then you can have out-of-towners that are gonna ask for it.
Mhm.
But it's gonna be on your website that if you wanna, and guarantee you, most people that come in from out of town go to your website. That's why that thing has to be completely upgraded every time,
Mhm.
and it has that specific handicap usage. And they'll follow the rules. They'll come over, like I said, and it's a great thing also that you have the, like a little credit card deal that says, that they can show to everybody when they're paying and say, it's okay, it's
Yeah,
handicap.
so that's easy, cause we have our Max gift cards, we can just update them and put a little plaque on it or a
Yeah,
a
yeah.
seal on
Sticker or
it,
something.
and then they can just flash that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Absolutely.
The next one is,
Okay, before you wanna put another line item?
yeah, just so we can.
Put an action item, Chris, for next one,
Okay.
Because we will.
regarding
start-
the, how do you wanna word this?
It's just the registration for the handicap, so we can start announcing it, being June 1st is the deadline, please start registering now.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's not a deadline, but that's when we would like for it to be done by. Also, we're gonna announce it on our screens and we're gonna announce it everywhere, we'll put a sign there. The other big issue is, we're kind of out of COVID and everybody's still kind of like, I want my own cart. Which during the week is not a big issue, right? But it is a big issue if my carts are getting worn a lot faster than they were used to, you know what I mean? So can we just say, okay, you want your own cart, it's $5 extra, which seems pretty fair.
You should pay
It's-
full price.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't have a structure to where you're like, well, I'll take it without a cart, or take with a cart. It's a base fee that has everything built into it, right? So what is the cart fee and what is the green fee, which is no big
Well,
deal.
I mean, but it only makes sense because if it's me and I'm saying that I want a cart by myself and it's an extra $10, it's gonna cost you because it's more wear and tear if you're one person in there. So you're adding more to the problem.
So we up north or our
Yeah.
sister courses, the one argument you get, or the one argument that some people will make is like, well, they're a threesome, and why is he gonna pay only the X amount? He's not paying that extra money for the cart fee. So maybe we start breaking down our fees instead of just saying it's $39.99 or whatever. Now we say it's $24.99 for your head to play, $10 for your cart. And okay, so that way when that threesome comes, hey, well, he's paying that's what he's paying for the cart. The other person, he's gonna pay his $34.99, but you want the cart by yourself because
Yeah.
you're a foursome, but you want your own cart. So there's gonna be a little bit of, I guess, where you're gonna ruffle some feathers for some people. And we just know it's gonna come to you guys or to city council as long as we all on the same
Again, it
page.
goes back to the education part, starting on so-and-so, we're gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
And you just don't dump them on them.
Yeah,
put it in a-
yeah, June 1st, it looks like gonna be your deadline for everything. We just wanna get it to everybody here, since you guys are kind of our soldiers in the
I
forefront.
think everybody is reasonable enough to understand that, yeah, it's over and, you know, but they do take, you know, your whole fleet takes a bigger hit when we have all singles.
Mhm.
You know, they could be half the fleet that, and a lot of it that happens is that second fleet that's not being used because you doubled up over here could be charging the battery appropriately, you know?
Mhm.
And right now, charge it right away and then get it running. And by the time that you play the 18, by number 16,
Yeah.
it's already running out.
It's been busy.
Well, it helps when you hit fairways, because I never run out of batteries.
Or hit it farther than 50
What's
yards.
that? What's that?
Hey, you're talking about the best deep flatter in South Texas over here.
Oh, really?
Jesus. He beats Cesar Garay used to be the best deep flatter in South Texas. Cesar moved up to C.
Todavía juega César D.
No, they moved up to C. It's like, you're winning every tournament.
Well, okay, let's do this. We're
He
talking
changed
about
the
this-
subject
no,
real
no,
quick.
No, because we do, and I think this is
Yeah.
gonna help you. I like the scoring plan that you have. But there has to come a time already that we have to, make everything so that you can stop the constant, I can't believe the constant bickering about who's supposed to be here at D or C or my handicap or anything. So we have to figure out a way so that people can submit. I don't know if there's a punch-in button or a pad, iPad that you can put in there and just turn in your score.
You know
every
that,
time.
and it's there. If you just keep score on the golf cart,
Yeah.
and then it'll say email it, and you can just email it to us.
Okay.
And it would come to us, and we could go to the file and be like, well, here, use your last 6 scorecards. You shot Regatta, you shot
I
88.
do, I think
You're
it's.
stuttering.
Yeah. No, I do.
You see that?
No, I wanna do it, but I wanna have a way that everybody that's in there.
Can you put double digits in there?
I wanna figure out a way that everybody is almost forced to submit it, because there's a lot of people walking around that I appreciate when they tell you it's, I'm a 7.2 or
Mhm.
7.5 or whatever.
You know, it's a $40 charge. It's a little pricey. It's called a GIN.
Mhm.
You register with us, we register, and then you control it on your phone, and you log in and you put in your score every time.
Any course.
Any course, and it'll adapt.
Mhm.
So you play the blues one day, then it's gonna adapt, then the next day you play the reds like you do on Thursdays,
Mhm.
and it'll adapt. And it'll it'll tell you exactly what your handicap is. That's where you get the 8.75.
But you have to wear a skirt, like from the.
He would, just to get his deep like that.
Why don't you just make it like, if you don't have a score or anything like that, you're automatically gonna be listed as
For
a B
golfers,
flight.
there's
If you're coming back to be a C or.
You see,
handicap
and we
that they
could get
have.
everybody,
The
a
one
group
they
of
brag
like
about,
maybe you, 10
and the
guys,
one
something like
they
that,
wanna
that's
get
another
into
thing.
third.
Because if I say it, then
Yeah.
they're gonna leave. And
Yeah.
like, I would just go.
They're bragging,
play.
no, I'm a.
So we can kind of make it
player,
strong
blah, blah,
together
blah.
and say like, look,
But when it comes to
we want you
tournaments,
just to get a
no,
gym.
I'm a deep player.
We can do it through golf status, which I think is free.
I agree. And
Just
I
so
think
that it's
time,
fair.
you know,
But if you don't, we're gonna put you at B.
Yeah, you gotta establish a handicap.
Mhm.
Dennis, did you tell these guys how many you had last week
How many what?
for the sundown?
He was there. Yeah, it was 50.
I like
Thank you. Berno brought a 9, I think. Yeah.
25 were ours.
He got all his money back by winning.
Berno's group, it looked like the Rattler roller coaster, all the cars just following each other.
Oh, I thought you guys making hole-in-ones every other hole. I could hear screaming like, ah.
You guys couldn't miss. They couldn't
We
miss.
ran out of fireball. We did. Carolina's like, we have no more fireball for the weekend. I'm like, what?
Okay,
Yes, I'm picking up right now, don't worry.
anything else we wanna add? What was the last thing we added, Chris? Was action item?
Action for the handicap sign.
Handicap, and then the $5 to $10 riding solo fee, just so that we can, and then we'll put a date on it, June
I
1st.
think, yeah.
I like, you said 10, I like that.
No, by the time that you get it, because it'll discourage them.
You know, up in some
Yeah.
courses, they actually pay you a guess, a fee, like $25. If you're gonna be riding if you're gonna set up a tee time, and you show up by yourself, and you wanna ride the cart by yourself, they'll charge you an extra $25
Yeah.
just for that.
Yeah.
So,
Because that, I don't know if you do this, I know it can be a courtesy thing, and I'm not sure how they do it with people that are not playing, they just wanna take a cruise around the course.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're charging.
Well, it just depends. If it's like a wedding couple that's signing up for a wedding, like, can we go right on the course? Obviously, here you go.
No, that's true.
But it's a $25 spectator card. Our bird
Okay.
watchers pay it. Our bird watchers love it. They're
Yeah.
like, I can actually get a card and pay,
Yeah.
I just have to pay $25.
They can accomplish more,
Yeah.
you know, throughout the day.
So, I think so what we'll end up doing is I'll sit down with the pro shop and find out how do we wanna break down the price now? Because now we are gonna have people say, well, like, hey, it's $26 instead of 36 because I'm not gonna ride, I'm gonna walk. do we want to give them that option? It's a tough course to walk, and I think we're gonna get a couple of brave souls the first
Maybe.
time around after you walk in.
No, well.
I mean, Bob has to shuttle his kids around for varsity. Poor kids.
Can you give me a ride to the first tee?
Yeah, can you pick me up at 9? So, but we could do it that way, so it doesn't become a big hassle.
But you know what, it's a good option to have too, because some people wanna do it for exercise and say, you know what, I'll take my golf.
The only thing is maybe you can, those people, because it does slow the game down, it makes a lot of
does.
people, right? But
Yeah.
mandatory that we have to give you a right to the first hole,
Yeah.
you know, or take you over to number 10.
Well, the first hole's okay because it kind of lets our guys come, but then it gets
10.
busy, and then, hey, can somebody come get me at 9? Nobody came and got me at 9. It's like, yeah, guys are busy, you know.
Yeah.
Just the first
Yeah.
one.
It's just the first hole.
No, that's right, just to drop them off there and then, you know.
Yeah,
I'll
but
make
I
it
would
Sunday.
suggest that.
First aid kit or something. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, that's the only reason why that's kind of a skeptical thing for me, because, well, you know, there's a million things that can happen out there, thus, again, let's go back to our safety plan.
Yeah, no, Chris Perez will be here next meeting
Okay, good.
with the plan.
You can run to Bears.
Chris Perez will be here next meeting, hopefully, I know Mr. Jacobs wanted to hear it
Baby
too.
bears.
So
Oh,
he
remember,
already
remember
got.
wasn't too far away from the two bears last
Oh,
year.
yeah,
I'm
on
not
Mines
sure.
Road, yeah.
Baby bears, watch out.
Next thing you see pit elephants and everything.
Laugh all you want, one of these days it's gonna come out.
Somebody needs to adjourn the meeting.
Somebody has a-
Oh, yeah. If there are no more questions, this meeting is adjourned.
Make a motion, yeah.
Second that.
I wanna go.